Alright, it has been a very long time since I uploaded the video. The last time I uploaded a video on this man on the screen was diagnosed with coronavirus in March and it's currently August, so it's been a very long time. Now, since I've been gone, a lot has happened for Arsenal. Obviously, as you guys know, there's no point of me going over it in depth. You guys know we won the FA Cup. Big props to this man on the screen. Before I get into the transfers, I just want to say this guy has changed Arsenal and changed the way we've played, the way we think. The players look more disciplined. The players look like, you know what, they don't want to come off anymore. Obviously, if it was in the past under Unai Emery, the players would not have given a shit about anything going on. If they got subbed off, they don't care. Now, when they get subbed off, they look angry, which is what I want to see. Obviously, to get us to the FA Cup final in the first place, he had to beat the likes of Pep Guardiola and Man City, and he managed to pull that off. We dominated that game. Clean sheet, 2-0, Aubameyang scoring 2 goals. It's just every player looks different on this man. Obviously, to mention a few, Maitland-Niles, Bukayo Saka, even the youngsters, Joe Willock, Reece Nelson, they're becoming better players, you can see, especially playing around the experience. David Luiz, after lockdown, has looked like a much better player. He looks like a defender that you want to have in your team now. Not a player that you're just shouting to be dropped and put in the reserves. Same with Mustafi. Absolutely different player. We were shouting for him to leave last transfer window, and now he looks like one of our best defenders. He's overtaken Socrates in the first 11. Obviously, the season's over now, so he might not be in the team next season with William Saliba coming in. But you never know. You never know. All I want to say is big props to this man. Massive win, massive thing winning the FA Cup. It is a massive push to where we want to be in the future. His first season, he had less than a season, less than any other manager in the Prem, and he won a trophy already. That is massive, especially as a manager who was the captain for Arsenal and captained us through an FA Cup as well. But this video is not about that. That was just a quick little brief explanation of what I think about Arteta. This video is about transfers and a big name coming out of the transfers lately in the transfer world and all the outlets, articles, whatever you want to call them. And that is Philippe Coutinho, whatever you want to call him. A massive player linked with Arsenal. In my opinion, we need to sign this guy. Obviously, it's going to be nothing but a loan, but one season, he'll help us massively, in my opinion. Because obviously, we've got Mesut Ozil, who has not played football for Arsenal in such a long time. 300k wages, just sat on the bench. Absolute waste of money. And I've always said this and I'll always stick by this. Mesut Ozil, because I know what he can do, he has been my favourite Arsenal player since joining in 2014 till now. Even though he don't play anymore. But because he don't play anymore, people see him as washed up. And I agree. He's not providing anything for us. He's not benefiting us in any way. So we might as well let him go. Sell him, let him go, release him, I don't know. 300k wages could be used on someone else like Philippe Coutinho. And we could maybe bring in a defender and a defensive-minded midfielder, which I'll be going on to later. But Philippe Coutinho, we all know what this guy can do, man. Obviously, he didn't have the best season at Bayern Munich. Obviously, he's still there right now until the 31st of August. He's got 24 days left on his Bayern Munich contract. He played 23 games in the Bundesliga. He's played 7 in the Champions League so far. Obviously, the Champions League is still yet to be played towards the end of August in it's actually today, I believe, the first game, in a World Cup format. Because obviously everyone's played the first leg, second legs are left, and after that it will be World Cup style. He still has yet to prove himself. Maybe he might be playing in those games, I don't know. Obviously, Bayern Munich have an option to buy at the end of it, I think for about 120 million, something crazy like that. And he's obviously on the big bucks on wages, 240k, which is why I think Ozil should be used as part of a deal. Going forward, he's versatile. He can be on the left, right, number 10, and drop back in a number 7 or 8 if he needs to. We all know what this man can do, man. At Liverpool, he was absolutely amazing. He's a guy that you were scared to come up against. He made 152 appearances. He was involved in about 80 goals, something silly like that. So he's a very good player. He's good with his right foot and left foot. He's got skills, his passing, his vision. He's a good player. He'll bring immense pressure to the defence of the opposition when you're playing. I think he'll create chances. for our attackers. Hopefully, attackers mean Aubameyang next season because we don't know what's going on with his contract. Hopefully, it's Aubameyang and Lacazette and Pepe that he's providing. But in my opinion, he's a player that we need to sign because Dani Ceballos, yeah, we've got him, but we don't know what's going on with him either. He's obviously on loan from Real Madrid, and we don't know if we're going to be signing him on a permanent deal. And other than that, we haven't really got any creativity going forward. Emil Smith-Rowe's on loan to Huddersfield. Even when he does join Arsenal, he's inexperienced. He doesn't have an experience to play every single game in the Europa League, because obviously when the Europa League, because he won the FA Cup, the Premier League, the EFL Cup, all these little cups on the side as well. These players don't have the experience. Joe Willock, and that's pretty much it. Guendouzi looks like he's going to be dropped out of the team, and even then he's not an attacking midfielder. He looks like he's going to be leaving. So yeah, if you can name me another player apart from Dani Ceballos and Mesut Ozil, who are two players we're unsure about, that can provide us attack depth, creativity, let me know, because I honestly can't. And that's why I think Coutinho will be a brilliant signing, because going forward he will help us massively. But yeah, we absolutely need to sign this guy, because it looks like it's a deal that can happen. If Arsenal really wanted to push it on loan, it could happen. So I think we need to get this guy as soon as possible. Now, there are a few other players I want to talk about. Obviously, the first player being Dani Ceballos. Obviously, I mentioned him here and there already. But this guy, I've heard the deal is £23 million to Real Madrid to keep this guy on a permanent deal. Now, I picked out this certain picture on purpose, him holding the FA Cup trophy, because he looked like, for me, he was one of the man of the matches. There were a couple man of the matches, I'll be honest, but he was up there with probably in the top three, I'll be honest. Obviously, Aubameyang scoring 2 goals, you have to give him the top spot. And then it's tight. I think Dani Ceballos or Granit Xhaka were massive for us in that game. £23 million is an absolute bargain. It is a steal to keep someone like Dani Ceballos at this club. He's young, 23 years old, and we've seen what he can do. He can pass the ball out from the back. He can get the ball out of tight spaces. He can create something out of nothing. In the number 8 position, he's absolutely brilliant. He goes back to help defend. He comes forward. He can spread out to the wings if we need him to. He's a player that Arsenal absolutely need to sign on a permanent deal. 23 million is nothing for a player of this potential, of this caliber, and we need to sign him as soon as possible, because I'll be absolutely gutted if we don't. It's an absolute miss if we don't. Obviously, we're in competition with teams like Real Betis, which is no competition for Arsenal. Come on now. The board need to sort themselves out. Obviously, we made 55 workers redundant, so we can use that money on his wages. I don't know how it works. Hopefully, that is how it works. Get rid of Ozil, sign Coutinho, sign Ceballos, but that's just my opinion. The next player is Thomas Partey, a player that has been linked with Arsenal for so long now. And I think it's just something that again needs to happen. But we all said, back when we signed Nicolas Pepe, we didn't know we had that kind of money. 72 million. Obviously it's being paid over 5 years. I think it's like 18 million a year or something like that. But that shows that the money's there. The money is there to be spent. £45 million release clause, or 50 million, around there. That would be a very good signing for Arsenal. A CDM, someone who could partner up with Xhaka, Torreira. Guendouzi looks like he's going to be leaving, as I already said. Someone who stayed dropped back. Obviously, he's all right going forward as well. But a CDM that has proved himself. A CDM that has proved himself so much that Atletico Madrid want to offer him another contract and double his wages. Now, I think before another club comes and snabs him up, I think Arsenal need to release this guy's release clause, if that's how you even say it, I don't know, or activate his release clause, that's how you say it. It will be a perfect signing for us, man, but I don't know if we can sign him and Ceballos and Coutinho on loan and be able to afford it, because obviously Arsenal are a bit in a sticky situation with money, but I think we need to sign this guy, man. Next player, what's his name again? I forgot his name, god damn. His name is Gabriel from Lille, the Brazilian centre-back from Lille. Obviously, I don't know much about this guy. Clearly, I forgot his bloody name. But it is a centre-back that Arsenal are linked with. Obviously, we need a centre-back. We're lacking in that department. Obviously, with Socrates leaving this season as a backup sub, he was gone for a long time for Arsenal anyway. He's too clumsy. He gives away useless penalties, free kicks, everything puts us under pressure. Mustafi has looked like a 10 times better player than Socrates after lockdown since Arteta joined us. But yeah, Gabriel Maglahor or something like that, I think his name is, from Lille. I don't know much about him, so I can't comment much about him. But if he does sign for Arsenal, I'll back him all the way. Obviously, with William Saliba coming in, with Tierney now turning up after his injury, Bellerin, Maitland now is looking like an absolute different player, looking like a proper right back, someone who helps at the defence and helps us going forward. He is a right back that I'll actually put in our first team. And the way that Maitland has been performing, if I can get my words out, and the way that Bellerin has been performing lately as well, the rotation between them two, I honestly don't think we need a right back anymore. We might need a backup left back. I don't know what's happening with Kolasinac, so we can't only have Tierney in that position. Obviously, we've got Bukayo Saka, who can play there, but I much prefer Saka in an attacking role. Backup centre backs, we've got Rob Holding, Callum Chambers when he comes back from injury, obviously unlucky with his injuries. Mustafi looks like he might be staying for another year. David Luiz signed a 1-year contract. So if we do sign Gabriel, it'll be massive for our squad depth. It'll be good because we're going to be playing in the Europa League next season, FA Cup, EFL Cup. Premier League is going to be massive for us. But the next player is not a transfer. It is, obviously, we all know Aubameyang. He's one of the best strikers in the Premier League, in the world. Fastest Arsenal player to hit 50 goals. And this one's all about him signing a new contract. A new 3-year deal, I think, has been offered to him, 250k per week, which works out about 12 million a year. I think we need to sign this guy, man. That should be our main priority, because without him, obviously, I picked this picture on purpose again. I don't think we would have even won the FA Cup, because he is a massive, massive part to this club, man. Him going forward is massive. He's scored the most goals for us in the last 2 seasons. In his first season, when he joined halfway through in January, he played 13 games and scored 10 goals. Come on. That is just the calibre of player we're talking about, man. I don't need to say much about him. We need to prioritise this, give him the money he wants, 250k a week, 3 years, and that's it. No, there's no arguments about it. We need to sign this guy. We can't even piss about with this, yeah? This is a player we need to sign. I don't care what it takes, just give him what he wants. He looks like he's a loyal player to this club. He don't look like he's going to be joining another Premier League club. I think if he does leave, it is going to be Barcelona, because they're the ones that have been eyeing him up for the last couple of seasons. Couple months. Yeah, we just need to get this one out of the way and make sure he stays, because without him, it changes everything. We could forget about Partey, Ceballos, all of that. We need a striker if Aubameyang does leave. Now, quickly talking about youngsters, obviously Martinelli, Saka, Nelson, Willock and Emile Smith-Rowe are all youngsters who are turning up for Arsenal. Obviously Saka has already signed a contract for 5 years. Hopefully, I think Martinelli has as well, if I'm not mistaken. So if we can keep all the other 3 youngsters that I mentioned, that would be massive as well. But that is all I have to say. There might be more videos coming out on transfers if you're linked with any other players. Obviously, Willian is another player who looks like it's going to happen. So that's why I haven't talked about him today, because there's going to probably be a separate video of him joining, because that looks very close to happening. 100k a week for a player with experience is not too bad. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. That is what I think. Those are my opinions. Don't judge me for whatever I said, because obviously there's some haters. A lot of agenda against Arsenal in the last couple of weeks. No one wanted us to win the FA Cup, and then what happened? We went and fucked up Chelsea. So yeah, that's how it is. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, share this video around. Getting to 1,000 subscribers. I'm nearly there. I'm actually so close. So get me there. And yeah, I'll be seeing you guys when more transfers come out, and definitely when FIFA 21 comes up.